And a happy Saturday evening to all of you. And we want to welcome you to our show today. Charlie Platt in the Dirt Road Sports. And hope you've had a great Saturday afternoon and a beginning of an evening. And we're glad you have taken the time to join us tonight live here on Facebook and YouTube. Charlie, take it away.
All right. Good to have everybody, as you said, with us. It is Saturday night, 7 o'clock over here on this side of the river, 8 o'clock on y'all side. And we got a lot of things we'll be talking about tonight. Floyd, as you may see, is missing from the lineup. Floyd had an auction today down at Mason Auction Company. It ran a little bit over, but he is on his way. We're going to jump in the shower and join us momentarily. Now, before he does, Queasel and I were just discussing the possibility, since he used our name and character this morning, to not only promote the show, but promote the auction down there in Campbellton. What percent of the proceeds of the auction do we deserve? Now, do we want to go ahead and have that business meeting now, or wait a little bit later on?
I'm for 80%.
I agree.
I like that. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. We get 80% of Floyd's pay.
But Floyd ain't made no money, so 80% of nothing is still nothing.
That's exactly true. Right.
But at least he probably got beanie weenie money to come down there and do the thing and eat while he was down there. But
there's a couple of things though you need to know. See, first of all, you said Floyd gonna jump in the shower. He too old to jump anywhere. And number two, he's too old to be eating beanie weenies. Floyd go to eating beanie weenies. He liable to have one of them accidents.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you had to watch him.
What's that you drinking there, Marvin?
Water from a Blizzard cup.
Okay. I thought you got somebody to fly you in a Slurpee or something like that.
No, I would love to. There he is.
Where is the nearest Slurpee to Colquitt, Georgia?
In Colquitt.
Oh, you got Slurpees over there?
Oh, yeah. We got Slurpees over there.
Yeah, but he's kind of like, he kind of like the Baptist in the liquor store. He don't go in the Slurpee place over here because he's embarrassed to come out with that extra large cup. He wait till we get on the road. He just go down there.
It's like Tuesday. When we had to take a trip up around out from Huntsville, Alabama, up around Arab. Do you know where Arab, Alabama is, Charlie?
Yes, sir, buddy.
Well, Brindley Mountain, right out from Arab. But I stopped early in the morning to get a cup of coffee, and 20 ounces is as large as I could get. I mean, I'm not in California or New York where they should restrict the size. I like 54-ounce cups.
I know you do, but on coffee, they generally don't get much over 20 ounces on the coffee.
No, yeah. I've seen him come out with a 72-ounce cup of coffee.
Where was that?
Atlanta.
One of them QTs, them quick trips in Atlanta. He gets more excited there than he does. He works in a youngin' at Christmas. He'll have a 72-ounce cup of coffee. They have a clear 84-ounce Slurpee, and when you walk in there, they got Slurpees all down the road. Marvin B. hitting every one of them. He go down them and he'll hit a spout on every one of them, and if he don't fill it up, he'll make a run back the other way. He don't leave nothing untouched.
All right, Floyd, are you with us now, sir?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm trying to get all this stuff cleared off. Keep popping up on my computer screen. All this stuff that's unwanted that I don't want. Let me see if I can get back in with y'all.
Well,
I can see y'all. I know you can see me, but I want to see y'all.
All right. We had a little business meeting before you joined us.
All right. Tell me about it.
Well, we got to thinking about it. You did a good promo this morning in front of that little piece of machinery down there at Mason Auction Company. But we timed it out. You gave just as much time in the promo to getting folks to come down to your auction this morning as you did to promoing that we was going to be on tonight with me and the Dirt Road Sports. So we had a 3-0 vote that 80% of your pay should come to us.
Well, if y'all want to go down there and do 80% of what I do, I'll be glad to split it with y'all.
No. You don't understand. You
I completely understand. Yeah, I know exactly. That's what the deal is. And you see, the time about it, see, Gerald Mason starts paying me from the time I get on the grounds until I leave. See?
Yeah.
And then I leave with a paycheck, check. And then, like when we switch off here tonight at about 9:15, you know how much money I'm gonna have in my pocket from the Dirt Road Sports? Zero. So I mean, that was the reason for that.
But didn't you have folks come up to you today and say, "We here because we saw you on the internet this morning"?
I don't know that. No, they didn't have time to talk to me. Ooh, I didn't have time to talk with it. I did not have time to be engaged in idle chatter today.
Floyd, you didn't tell that woman to sit down. She was out of it today.
No, didn't tell her that. No.
Did y'all sell a lot?
Yeah, we sold everything. It was down there.
Well, I know that, but was there a lot down there?
Yeah, man, they were like 600 pieces of equipment down there.
Melissa Tillery said you look sunburned.
I am sunburned. I've been in that sun. That sun been shining on me today. That wind blowing in my face and sun been shining in my face. That sound, we got to get a better sound truck down there. We got to get like an enclosed one, with the air conditioning and all in it.
Oh, air conditioning.
I reckon what Gerald Mason would probably tell me to do is says, whenever you open up the Kimbrell auction company, then you can have any kind of sound truck that you want. Probably it's what I would tell me if I was Gerald Mason.
More than likely, that's what Gerald gonna say.
That's what he gonna say.
Charlie, Floyd mean business when he go to auction. Now I remember a long time ago, they was auctioning off an old antique furniture place down the street from a service station. So I went down there I ain't never seen Floyd in action. So I went down there and go watch him. And he was out there, boy, he had him going on. He had him going on out there. And this lady got up and she was just a bidding. She was bidding and talking and bidding. And Floyd finally looked over. He just stopped. Just stopped it. He said, hold it. Just stopped everything. He looked over and he said, lady, sit down because you out of it.
She sat down. She behaved herself.
She sat down too.
Yeah. Sometimes they misbehave. Sometimes people are misbehave at an auction. And they don't mean to. It's just, they just get all caught up in it, and the excitement of it.
I'll never forget, Floyd, when I was selling antiques, I had a woman that she would come, and when she wanted something, she would just hold her hand up and never take it down. I call that buying by bitter intimidation. I'm going to buy this. You can pay what you want to, but my hand ain't coming down.
I'm up. The gavel come on. Sold. Keep coming. Keep rolling. Keep rolling, baby.
Charlie, you know what I seen them two do one night at an auction?
They ain't no telling about it. They were tag team.
We were doing an auction. We were doing an auction for a benefit and a fundraiser or something. And we had a pair of autographed ice skates by some famous ice skater. I don't know what her name was, but she was a famous ice skater. So she had a pair of autographed ice skates. Only thing is, she didn't sign but one of them ice skates. And them scoundrels sold them apart, and they sold the first and didn't have no signature on it. So the man had to turn around and pay double to get the other one. They resold the one that had it. And I don't forgot how much money they ripped him off on.
That first one wasn't worth nothing. It wasn't worth nothing.
It wasn't worth nothing.
It wasn't worth nothing. Had to have the second one to make the first one be worth anything. See, that's you have to have it. You have to have that instinct to do that.
What is the most unusual, unique item that Floyd has ever auctioned off at any sale in the history of you taking bids?
The most unusual things I ever sold was we sold the Wrath Packing Company in Waterloo, Iowa. Sold it out. It was 43 acres under roof. 43 acres under roof. And they had gone bankruptcy. The union had broke them, and they had gone bankruptcy. And they picked First Team Auction Company out of Americus, Georgia, to be the auctioneers. The sale lasted 5 or 6, 7 days. I don't know. We run 3 rings all day long selling that stuff. I think it was like 45,000 lots that we sold in 3 days. And the most interesting thing that I encountered while I was there, we went up on the floor. They started them hogs when they'd bring them in. They butchered hogs and they made Black Hawk bacon. I don't know if y'all remember Black Hawk bacon, but it was good bacon. That's what they made. They start them hogs up at the top floor. And then that's where the hog's life ended, at the top floor. Then it started he started working his way down. And I won't go into all the details about how all this worked, but we wound up we wound up on the top floor where the squeals was, and we wound up in the sub basement where inedible rendering took place. Inedible food products that they rendered down, they cooked it down to mush, and I just dumped it out in the river or something up there. But that's where we wound up. And so to answer your question, the most unusual thing I've ever sold was an inedible rendering vat.
Okay. I would have bet it was something out of Saudi Arabia, but you know.
Oh, there was something over that too. Now, buddy. Let me tell you.
Wait, I got a question about that Saudi Arabia deal now.
Yeah.
There's something you got, because I'm a little slow. You got to explain it to me. So you're over there in Saudi Arabia and you don't know how to talk Arabian or whatever it is they talk. So they had to have an interpreter to interpret what you were saying. Where did they find an interpreter that could interpret as fast as you can auction?
They couldn't do it. They wasn't no such thing. He'd be sitting up there side of us. There'd be an Arab sitting up there in the sound truck with us. And you had to have I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm being insensitive. Forgive me.
Yes.
Forgive me. I do not want to get us in trouble with Mr. Gates or whatever. Who owns Facebook? What's his name?
Zuckerberg.
I did not mean to say Arab. I meant to say Arab. But we already said Arab because Marvin just said Arab, Alabama.
Yeah,
so it's his fault. I had it on my mind.
I've been to Arab.
We had a Arab. And they could, all of them speak English. Now, people, let me tell y'all, they all could speak what they thought was English, but the Arab interpreter would have to sell it. And I'd say, so you bought it right there. And he'd say, his thing is biat. That was the word for sold. Biat. And that was it. That finalized it. Everything was cool. But they had to have an Arab that sold it. I couldn't sell it. Jim Parks, the man that owned the auction company, or T.C. Berryhill that was over there working with us, we couldn't sell it. We had to have the Arab to actually say sold, and it was biat. And then let me tell you about this, the interesting concept over there. We had a van that followed along. Y'all know, anybody's been to an auction knows about how auction works, equipment auction works. We outside, and there's a truck that goes along, and you got the auctioneer, and he's got the speakers up there. He's selling. That's where everything's taking place. It's transacting right there. But the first sale that Mr. Parks had over there, Jim Parks, the guy that I worked with from Texas, first auction they ever had in Saudi Arabia, American style auction, it was like a 3-day sale. And so they sell it, and he said, you know, you need to pay up every day if you can. If you can't, just like we do it in America, you know, like normal people would do it, trustworthy people would do it. The third day, when you get through, or when you get through with all your purchases, you come in there and you pay up. Clean slate, you pay up. Or you can pay each day for your purchases. So he gave them the option to do that. So he noticed on the third day, nobody had paid. They hadn't paid for any of their purchases. We're talking about millions of dollars worth of stuff. Millions. Nobody had paid. So then he said, on the third day, at the end of the day, a group of them came into his office, and they said, everything, and you got to understand, everything in the Arab world is negotiation. Y'all ever heard, Marvin, you ever heard them? And Queen and Charlie, y'all ever heard them talk about negotiate a peace treaty? Yeah. Negotiate. They ain't no negotiating with one of them is about like Marlon Lefebvre's daddy. He said he did not negotiate with teenagers. So that's the same concept. You can't, there's no negotiate. If you negotiate with somebody, they got to bring something to the table. If anybody that's going to come negotiate that doesn't have anything to bring, there's no negotiation. So anyway, they came in, yes, and they said, and Jim Park said, it's time for y'all to pay up. So y'all need to pay up. And they said, oh, by the way, Mr. Jim. They called everybody by their first name, Mr. Jim. By the way, Mr. Jim, we have tickets here. Say we bid 200,000 reals. That was how we sold it in real. Bid 200,000 reals. Now we negotiate. So they hadn't paid for nothing, and they owed all this money, and they wanted to negotiate the payment on it. And Parks, Mr. Jim Parks, he was a smart man, one of the smartest men I ever known in my life. He said I was in a corner. He said there was nothing else I could do. He said he jumped up on his desk and he told them, no, you are not buying anything. Everything sold too cheap. We're going to sell it again. You did not buy anything. Now get out of here. And you know what he said they did? Oh, no. You must take money. You must take money. We bid. You must pay. So they came in and paid up, but he used that reverse psychology on them, told them that you wasn't going to get nothing because it all sold too cheap. That's the only thing it saved his business. But anyway, getting back to that, we would sell a piece of equipment. We'd sell a piece of equipment that worth in US dollars, it'd be worth $100,000, that one piece of equipment. We had ushers on the ground. The guy that bid the $200,000 on the D10 Caterpillar, somebody would get him and usher him behind the sound truck to the money truck. It was a van. That was the money truck. And he would count out $200,000 in cash to the clerk, the cashier at the money truck, right behind the auction truck. No law, there wasn't no law nowhere around. That van would have several $1 million worth of cash money in it. They walked around with suitcases, and they had people hired with suitcases. I got pictures of it. They'd have them hired with suitcases full of money in cash to pay for their purchases. They paid for it right then. They wouldn't know we're going to get back to you later on. So that's how that worked. So y'all welcome to everybody welcome to the Mideast. It's a different world, baby. Mm-hmm. Now you can't, you think you're going to negotiate? You think, no. But they get back to that point about them speaking English. They all thought they could speak English. Me and Tony Tabb was over there, old boy from Congress. Y'all know him. He went over there with me, working over there in Saudi Arabia, and me and him from South Georgia, we had a lingo. We had a colloquialism, and when we really got to bear down on it, they could not understand one word we said, and we were speaking English. They said, "Whoo, what you say? What you say?" I said, "No, wait a minute, sport. Hey, you speak English? Hey, come on to the meeting, huh? Who? What you say? Who? Meeting? What? Huh?" We get them sideways, man. We get them all sideways. We'd have them clawing at their face. They'd be so mad with us. But it was a game, you know. It was just a game with them. You knew, of course, you could get your butt in trouble over there now if you pushed a little bit, pushed the wrong one. We was over there in Riyadh one night, me and Nadine. She had a long black gown on, and they were some folks from England that was over there. They was working in one of them big construction company camps. And then we had another couple with us from Texas, and this gal, she had this long old flowing wavy hair, with a moose all in it. That was back in the 80s, when all that was popular. And she smoked one cigarette right behind another. She smoked one cigarette right behind another. Her and her husband lived over there. He worked with us in the auction company. Be walking down the street in Riyadh over there, and one of them dudes over there, one of them what they call a ulema, the religious police, walked up to me, and there was one of them old big old tall blonde-headed gal from England. He singled her out. He said, "Is this your woman?" I said, "No, man." I said, "That's my woman right there with that black robe on." He said, "She needs to cover up." I said, "Well, you tell her husband that. You don't tell me. You tell him that." I said, "This is my woman right here." So anyway, she had to go get her buy one of them black robes, put it on, walk around, because they'd go crazy. They didn't have enough sense. A woman's ankle would get them crazy, or wrist. I've seen them little Filipino women over there. They had them over there working in the houses and all like slaves. They working in there, and I've seen them old police. They walked around with them old sticks, about a 6 or 8 foot fishing pole. They was a religious police. They'd get on them little Filipino women and beat them like I don't know what. Felt so sorry for them. Tell them you need to clothes, you need to dress up, you need to cover up. Go on there, they be screaming and hollering like I don't know what.
So
anyway, welcome to the Mid East.
They had to cover up all the skin.
Yeah, they had to cover it up. Let me tell you one thing. I'm going to tell y'all another day, and we'll move on from this. We can talk about this another time. I was over there one day. It'd get like 125 degrees over there.
Hey,
whoa. Huh?
You mean to tell me 125 degrees and the Nadine that I know would put on a black robe?
Oh, she was in the house then. She'd be in the house.
Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
Anyway, yeah. Hey, there's a bunch of stories. She can tell y'all some good ones too. But I was pulled up. I had me a little white Toyota. Every car over there was white because you couldn't have no dark car because you just bake in it. So I pulled up there to a traffic light, and this Arab gentleman pulled up next to me in one of them he pulled up in a little old Toyota, had a little old Toyota, not a crew cab, but like a little Toyota super cab, whatever you call it. 125 degrees, pulled up to the traffic light. He's sitting up there driving with the windows up, air conditioning blasted. He's got a sheep sitting in the seat, right-hand seat, and his wife is sitting in the bed of the truck. 125 degrees.
Well,
the sheep was more important than his wife was to him.
Well, Marvin to put a goat in the front seat.
Marvin had a goat in a Mercedes.
I don't know if he put his wife in the bed.
I don't think he done that.
But you know, when you were describing that gown you put on and you all down around your ankle, that reminded me of what my wife sleep in every night. You know, she got that Mary Ellen walking Gleason all up around the neck, come down on sleeve, got drawstring with a padlock on it down there, go around her ankle.
Pull it tight.
Pull it tight. You can't do So she might be keep all there in Saudi Arabia.
Amen. Ain't no
got a question for the audience, including about the auction business to Floyd from Nick. Hey Floyd.
Yeah.
Was Reverend Pencil Johnson at Mason's sale today to bid on one of the Cadillac cars?
Oh, we had 2 Cadillacs down there, and let me tell you what I almost done. I almost bought that black one, Nick. I almost bought it. It was a 04 Cadillac DeVille, 4-door, black on black. I couldn't see it. I hadn't checked it out or anything. But anyway, I was selling that thing, and old boy opened the door. I said, "What does it look like in there, man?" He said, "It looked good to me. It looked fine to me." But fine to him might not have been fine to me and Nadine, you understand? But anyway, that thing rocked on there. It was pretty cheap, I thought. I can't even remember how much it was, but I didn't have that much money in my pocket. And I sure wasn't going to write no check for no Cadillac, but let that go through my bank and let my banker see all of that. See, you had to think, boys. You had to think. Don't think your banker don't know what you spend your money on.
But you could have done that and rented it to Marvin to pull up at church every Sunday on. You could drive it.
It would have been good. Yeah, it would have probably made it from his house to the church. I don't know if it would have made it back, but it probably would have made it from Marvin's house to the church.
Did the air conditioner work?
I don't know. See, I asked somebody while I'm going along there, don't have it heat, have it heat. Does the air conditioner work? Yeah. I said, oh yeah, right. Should do it.
It was a baby doll.
Everything you see taking place at an auction is not necessarily taking place. That's what I try to
say. It was a baby doll.
Oh, it was a baby doll. Hey, movie star.
Jimmy Holt, suburbs of Mayhaw, Georgia, watching. Maxie and Harry McCann, Mexico Beach, watching. The Moores from Cheevertown, watching. The Bryans from Baker County, Trey, Bill, and Will, watching. Rita Mott, our good friends at Dakota Coffee Company, are watching us tonight. Melissa Tillery, Joe Watson, Roy and Becky Barber, Gail Blankenship Johnson, Carolyn Worsley, Michael Middleton, our OG friends over on Smiley Street are watching, and your wife's cousin, Deborah Kiesler Mosley, from Venice, Florida is watching, and Kevin Pickle and his family from Babcock, Georgia are watching.
Babcock, Georgia. Yes, sir.
Babcock.
Hey, man, that's an institution down there with them pickles. Them pickles,
Right.
there's a bunch of pickles. They pickles scattered all over Miller County.
Everywhere.
All over
All right,
Miller
boys,
County.
let me give a few updates and then I'll let one of y'all take it. Well, we know today, I just want to give a quick update since we started today. Mississippi State put a whooping on LSU. Mississippi State
That's right.
whooped LSU.
Ooh, come on.
Beat them like a red-headed stepchild.
Yes, sir.
Florida beat Mississippi 51-35. Auburn beat Kentucky 29-13. Close there. Georgia finally pulled it off 37-10 with Arkansas. They started out mighty sloppy, but wound up finishing good. And as of the last update, Alabama's beating Mizzou 21-3.
I hope they beat them 70-0. What about FSU? Did they play?
They playing tonight.
Playing tonight.
Yeah, they
Who they
playing Seminole County High School.
That's what I thought. They ain't fired the coach yet, had they?
No,
They
he's
ain't fired-
sick. He got the
he-
virus.
Yeah, he'll be gone. That's just an
He got the
excuse.
virus.
He'll be gone. They gonna have Deion Sanders is gonna be the coach down there before you know it.
Yeah,
Y'all
they
know
done
that?
hired him somewhere.
Prime time.
He
Prime
coaching
time gonna be the
somewhere.
coach.
Where that he got hired at last week?
Yeah.
You know, he got
Hey,
hired.
Our producer just said that it is underway. Miami is leading Florida State 7-3.
Come on, that's fine. I hope they tie to a 7-3 tie.
Hey, you was talking, Floyd, you was talking about negotiating a while ago. Let me tell you about Marvin. So we had to go up there. We had to go to Brindley Mountain, Alabama. I picked Marvin up. Me and his cousin, John Edward Wells, picked him up. What morning was it? Tuesday morning? Tuesday morning at 7:00, and he was ready. I have to give it to him. He was ready. And we got there and turned. It took 15 minutes to get down that paved driveway he got from the road to the house. So we got in there and got him and got back out and took a ride. And guess what? We had to stop and do or attempt to do before we could even get on the road.
Ain't no telling.
Catch
Had to eat. Y'all had to
wow.
eat something there.
A donkey.
Wow.
A donkey was loose on the other side of the fence. The donkey was out, and he was going. So he run it for about 15 seconds. He tried to get in. He said, "Oh, it'll be all right. Let's go on." So we headed on up there. But anyhow, we get up there, and the man, the headmost man that runs the company we going to, we coming up there, and they call and check on us and want to know who's coming. Now we was up there 12 years ago, I believe. Wasn't it 12 years ago, Marvin? I think that's right. We was up there 12 years ago and made a purchase. And so they get on the phone and call and they want to know who's coming. I tell them, well, I'm coming. And John Edward Wells is coming. And I said, and I'm bringing my boss man. And here's what they said. We will let you deal with the salesman. The boss man said he was not coming in because he remembered the last time he had to deal with your city manager.
Oh, what they exclude him? They
Let me
quarantined
tell
him.
you, Marvin is a negotiator.
Oh yeah,
He is.
I know he is.
He is a negotiator. He went on in there and done his job. And other than some other things that he done that he shouldn't have done, we come out okay.
Okay.
You know, when you stop to adjust the GPS because it won't adjust going down the road,
Ooh.
that ain't that don't mean that it's a bathroom stop. Every time you stop to do that, and he had a little trouble with that. He run into a bunch of trouble over around about Troy. He found him
emergency. Was it one of them bookie emergency type deals?
Yeah.
See, I get to where when I travel with him because he don't like to stop. He pulled over to when he did pull over to adjust his GPS or his UPS or whatever you call it. I just opened the back door, got out, and I looked both ways, and there wasn't nothing coming. And so I went on ahead and did my business because I knew I might not get another opportunity.
Yeah, but then He done that, and then he looked up and here come a car. He said, I'm gonna have to slang around the other way. I said, if you slanging on the door of my truck, I'm gonna leave you outside the road where you standing right there. You can't go nowhere with him. You can't, but he had done run into it. He run into a tight situation over in Troy, and the closest I could park was out by the road. In the next place is over parking lot. So he was already in the show, kind of like we did that day. You remember that day we had been over at the Blue Plate?
Yeah.
And he had to stop. Remember how close we had to get up there that day? We couldn't get up there.
Yeah. He looked like Jerry Nadler. Did y'all see that film of Jerry Nadler walking off Nancy? He had to leave Nancy. He had to do the quick step. If you ain't seen that, please. Y'all need to see that, Marvin. You seen it, didn't you, Charlie? Jerry Nadler, he was up at the podium. Jerry Nadler, the other day, he was up at the podium, and Nancy was up at the podium, and Jerry, he said, come on. And man, he walked over there, his knees were together when he was walking off. And you know what that means, don't you? He rubbing his knees together. And he was kind of doing this number right here, like he scrunched stuff, everything had a scrunch. He had it scrunched. Y'all ought to see that.
Well,
Jerry Nadler, he's the head of the Judiciary Committee, I think.
He's that one that's got a He got it on Pencil Johnson.
He got a Pencil Johnson belt on right there. That's right.
That's him.
Well, look here. If the head coach from Troy football had been down there at that station, they'd have recruited Marvin because he was fast. He was moving faster than their running back they had.
If they'd have just seen him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was maneuvering in between them cars and the gas pumps to get in the door. He come running in the door. When he get in the door, guess what? It is a one-seater, and it is occupied.
Marvin, I bet there's some folks can testify to this. You ever been in a tight and you're standing right up there going to the bathroom and all you can do is wait and you look around and there's beer and Coca-Colas and port rinds and quarts of oil and all you doing is spinning around looking at that and you're like, I just need to get in that bathroom.
That's all I need, yeah. I don't need to buy none of this stuff. I will buy some if I have to.
Yeah. But my mind cannot focus on what I need to buy at that particular juncture.
That's right. You don't want nothing to eat.
No, or drink either.
You don't want nothing in your digestive tract.
Hey Floyd, that sweat had started beating up on his head. I had seen that happen one time before, and I know what the outcome was on it that time. I was trying to help. I mean, he was in there beating on the door. The man wouldn't come. He just kept beating. Ain't nobody home. Nobody home. Marvin was in a tie.
What did you feed him for breakfast before y'all got to Troy is my question.
We went to Chick-fil-A. And we went to the Chick-fil-A and he wouldn't get just a normal biscuit. He had to get some kind of biscuit cooked a special kind of way with him and his cousin Johnny were wanting a tomato and I don't know, some pickles and some pickling spice or something on the biscuit. And they didn't want no yaller in the egg and they wanted something grilled and they wanted it on a no whatever kind of biscuit. It took 30 minutes to order and they didn't have what they wanted. So he ate it. About the time he got to Troy, it was all he could do. That was it. But now he'd already drank 4 cups of coffee too. That 20-ounce cup that he said he got, we bought it in Donaldsonville. And before we got out there to the cotton gin in Donaldsonville, it was gone. It didn't even make it to the city limit sign. It was gone.
Floyd,
one.
That's it, one.
Go ahead,
Nothing. I was going to ask you if you did you have any more short books this week or not?
Have any short what?
Books.
Yeah. I've been reading some more short books. Yeah, I would tell y'all about a couple of them here. Yeah, I got a couple of them here. It's a short list. I'm really kind of more in the short list now than I am books. But here's one for y'all. A complete list of Eskimos that have been hurt or injured because of Eskimo pies. You know, you can't eat an Eskimo pie. They've outlawed them. You can't eat an Eskimo pie. I just wonder if they were going around killing Eskimos with Eskimo pies would.
Why come you can't eat an Eskimo pie?
It's insensitive.
Insensitive. offensive. And I'm just wondering how many Eskimos has got hurt because of Eskimo pie. They took them off. They took them off the market. No Eskimo pie. Here's another short one. Complete list of California fires that were started and caused by climate change. Like a forest just, if it gets warm, a forest just combust. It just catches on fire. That's what they think.
Let me ask you this, Floyd. You can look and you can see the plot of all those fires in California.
Yeah.
If you go straight up and you look into Canada, you don't see a one.
They none in Canada. You know why? Because they log up there, man. They use for economic input. They log and they have fire breaks and they control burn and they do all them kind of things in Canada. You can't do that in Oregon and Washington and California, man. You can't do that. Here's another. Let me tell y'all what. Here's another couple of short books, and we'll move on. Here's one right here. This is a complete instruction booklet for California control burning practices and fire breaks.
That's a short one, isn't it?
That's instructions for California control burning practices and fire breaks. That's California. Okay. Here's another one. Complete list of human beings whose life has been saved by a spotted owl.
That's ooh.
They gonna get me. I'm telling you, they coming after me. Here's the last one. Last one, short book. List of Muslim restaurants that serve chitlins. Short book, short list, ladies and gentlemen. If y'all got any ideas out there on books y'all want me to read, send them to her. Yeah,
Floyd is he loves to read.
I love to read, them short books especially. No. But no, you didn't know about the Eskimo pie quiz?
I didn't know nothing about that.
Oh man, they condemned them. They're gone. Eskimo pie gone.
I know you
Can't have that.
You couldn't buy a extra large drink in New York.
But you could buy two larges.
You could buy two large.
Two larges, but not one extra large.
Well, that goes along with you know.
You know, they've done away with that. What's that butter too? They did something on the butter.
Butter. Yeah,
Land O'Lakes butter.
Land O'Lakes butter.
Indian off of that.
Yeah, got the Indian off of that.
Ain't your
and now Washington
gone.
Redskins, it ain't no football team no more. It's just Washington football team. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
They ain't smart enough to figure out a name when they take one away. They ain't smart enough to figure out a name to replace it with. They can't do it because that don't mean nothing. Because that means you have to think ahead. They can't think ahead. All they do is some kind of reaction. They just reactionary. Everything. We got to do away with it. It's called the council culture. Did you know that, Queasel? Have you heard that terminology? Council.
No, I don't.
I mean, it's council everything. Anything that folks like us enjoy, you got to counsel that. That's the council culture. Gonna rewrite it. Gonna rewrite history.
So you just gonna invent it as they go along.
Yeah, as they go along. Yeah, invent, create new history. One that sounds good, man. It's got to sound, you got to feel good. Don't you understand? You ain't got to do nothing. You just got to feel good. You got to have good feelings. You got to, what is it called, Marvin? Virtue signal.
That's it.
That's why these people that's driving in a car, I'm gonna tell you something about people that's driving in a car by themselves with a mask on. That's the number one reason that you got to have instructions on Pop-Tarts. People like that.
Well, there's a bunch of them out there.
Yeah. They gonna drive in a car with a dang mask on.
You cannot catch COVID from yourself.
No, you can't catch it from yourself. No, you can't catch it from yourself. So take the mask off and get you some oxygen there and get your brain cells open back up, oxygenate your system. And when you get out, if you want to put your mask on, wear your mask. Yeah. Whatever you want to do. But don't wear it in the car. You allowed to pass out You're breathing all that carbon monoxide, liable to pass out and run over into my lane of traffic and kill me. Take your stupid mask off when you're in the car by yourself.
That's right.
It ain't that complicated, folks. It ain't that complicated. And I'm sorry if I offend anybody who drives around in a car with a mask on by themselves. But you know what? I don't care.
I started to say he doesn't go on the line if he said, I'm sorry. I wasn't going to let that pass.
Laura Bryan is watching from Jacksonville, Florida. And Joe Watson said it's now Alabama 28, Mizzou 3 with 138 left. And Tony and Bonnie Lane from Enterprise, Georgia, watching with us tonight.
Enterprise,
right over here
Georgia.
in my neck of, right over here in my neck of the woods.
That's some of your folks. They know you too, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Who's the mayor of Enterprise now?
It was a vacancy right now. It's vacant.
Jerry Knowles. Jerry lives out there.
Jerry's wanting it. Yeah.
Jerry owns half of Enterprise.
Yeah.
He owns it.
Yeah.
He got the empire out there.
They talking about doing away with the with the mayorship and adding a governorship. That's what Jerry's after.
Oh, I see.
Governor of Enterprise.
Okay. That's it.
That'd be nice.
Governor of Enterprise. Hey, boys, if y'all will give me just a few seconds, I'm going to, after Judson pulls this down, our producer, we're going to throw it back up. We got, wanted to let y'all know we are getting ready to do some advertising. We've had a lot of you call in and ask about doing advertising on our show. And it's taken us a while to get all this together, but we are getting that together, and you see it on your screen right now. We got a special going on. If you're interested, message us on Facebook. Text my cell phone. Let me know. We'll get you hooked up. We're going to try to get that started as soon as we can. Part of it will be a 30-second professionally produced video commercial. And, some other things on there too. This is also on our Facebook page, or will be on our Facebook page for you to see it. And I'll share it on Charlie's Facebook page and all of that. But any of you that we've had, several of you have had some security companies. We've had, I got a bunch of different enterprises and industries that have called us and asked us, how can we get on the show? And right there is how you can do it. And if you'll just let one of us know, we'll get that taken care of, and we'd love to have you to be a part of our family.
I just had a split corporation from North Georgia, South Georgia, Mayhaw Mountain Enterprises just said that they might be interested in advertising. They do everything from governmental advisement to they have their own airlines. They have and they talking about doing a merger. And now you're talking about big time. Now listen, this is big time. They're talking about doing a merger between Mayhaw Mountain Airline and Airwolf Airline. Bring them two together. That would be amazing, as long as you ain't got too far to go. Because Airwolf would be the chief pilot, and he can't go far without landing, intentionally or unintentionally. He can't go far without landing. He has a hard time keeping it up there, but he can land it anywhere you want it. He can land it in a.
Hey, hold the phone. We just had a big message come in.
What it is?
I will pay $50 for an autographed picture of Queasel.
Whoa!
I don't. What did we do with them pictures we used to have? I'll hunt one up for
$50. You make one.
That's right. I'll do it. We used to have
$50 is $50.
Any way you look at it.
Any way you look at it, $50 is $50.
Right. That's right. So I'm just thinking about this airline. Listen, they don't have nothing but first class in them airlines. They ain't got no second class, no coach, no on all that. They got it's first class.
Is that the Piper Cub he flies?
I don't know what it is. It's an airplane, all I can tell you.
But it's the pilot and one other seat. Is that right?
No, he got a seat behind him.
That's okay.
But he got a seat up there in that dustbin up there in the front.
He got a seat behind him. Airwolf Airline does. Now Mayhaw Mountain, we kind of on a skimpy side, but we get there. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
you got to start somewhere.
He's got one of those where if the engine fails, a parachute pops out, don't he?
No, I don't think so.
He's a
But I tell
boy.
you what
He's a
he
boy
did.
from Carver got a plane like that.
I tell you what he did. I seen him land over there one day. I don't know where we were. We were somewhere, and he landed. I was the ground crew. When he stopped, I put the chalk under the wheel. I ain't getting in no airplane with him. He landed that thing, and he had a GPS. A GPS. He had. I reckon he had some Velcro or something. He Velcroed it on the steering wheel of that airplane. And I asked him. I said, "Now, how do you know where you gonna turn at? Where the roads and the signs and all that is when you go to the GPS?" I said, "What did it do when she tells you recalculating? What do you do then?" But he had a GPS. He had a GPS on the steering wheel of that airplane flying. Now that's the chief pilot for Mayhaw Mountain. That Floyd cousin.
Mm-hmm.
He a certified, bona fide, certified, sanctified pilot, but he ain't to the level of Airwolf. Now Airwolf has got it going. He can fly. Airwolf can fly aerial plane. He can fly a helicopter. He can fly model airplane. He can fly most anything.
Guys, I want to throw this out if I can to remind all of our viewers and all of those of you that are watching us either on Facebook or YouTube, two things that are very important right now. Number one, if you have not completed your census online, please do that. It means a lot to the community you live in. Whether you live in Georgia, Florida, or you live in Alabama, it does not matter. It's one of the most important things you can do for your community is go on. It takes about 2 minutes online to fill your census out. And the second thing I want to do is if you are not registered to vote and you are watching our program tonight, please go register to vote. Your time is running out. I think there's a date on that. I don't know if you're in Georgia, Florida, Alabama, what that date is, but I want to encourage you, if you are not registered to vote, we are not telling you how to vote. We are just telling you to go register and go vote. It is two very important things, your census and registered to vote. Charlie, tell us what's going on over in Dothan. We hadn't heard a lot from you tonight about what's going on over in Dothan.
Well, just everything's kind of just plugging right along. A lot of folks from over at Enterprise watching. Tom Carmichael, my old buddy General Dan Spagner up around Auburn, Opelika is with us. Just a whole bunch of folks. Carlton Thomas. Now, where is he from?
He's from Enterprise, Georgia.
Enterprise, Georgia. That's what I thought. Yep. Charles Mercer, Dave Plunkett. The list goes on and on and on. Got a lot of folks watching. You know, I don't know about y'all and what's going on in Georgia. We're still, Meemaw is we're still kind of waiting to see what's going to happen at the end of the month on the advice to have masks on. Florida just opened up restaurants and bars, no limitations on the percentage of people in those. And I'm running into folks all the time who's got relatives that's still suffering from the virus. So I just, if you watch US 431, you'll know them Georgia folks from up there around Atlanta, Henry County, and all up in there in parts of Georgia. They're not short of money. They coming through here wide open just about every day of the week, but especially on the weekend. Kind of makes me wonder where these folks are going and what they're going to do. Because you look at these ball games we're playing, they ain't but what I think they were going to allow 17,000 in the stand at the Auburn game today. I don't know the numbers on every one, but you got a limited number of folks participating in that. And looks like to me from the road, business is wide open.
Yep. 20% occupancy is the number on that for the college ball game. Whatever the stadium will hold, 20% occupancy.
Have we got any stories on cousin Bookie? Bookie is a person I get all kind of requests to hear how he's doing and what's going on in his life. And I guess the only one that know that would be Floyd.
I ain't heard nothing out of Bookie in a while. Bookie been kind of laying low. He's been laying low on me here, but he probably have something. He'll probably have something going on next week.
Floyd, I don't know if you. Speaking of Bookie, did you notice my where I'm broadcasting from tonight?
Yeah, man, you got it there. Yeah, I like that. Is that in your backyard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's
I use it.
good.
I use it regularly and often.
That's good, man. That's good. You say conserving water. Y'all see how
Yep.
conscientious we are? Look at Marvin, how conscientious Marvin is. He's an ecologist.
That's
what
my
he's practicing.
green
That's
carbon.
he's a
Look,
greenie.
look. Yeah.
Well,
Green man.
he needs one with wheels on it where we can put a trailer hitch on it. We can put it behind the truck wherever we
Yeah,
go.
he does. I've seen
Yeah.
them. I've seen them when them
Yeah.
boys go out in the field picking sweet corn and all. They got them a station. They pull out there. And
Yeah.
what do you need? That's a
That's
good
what
idea.
you need, Marvin. You need to
Exactly.
build one of them.
Mhm.
He could put it even like in his truck, in his pickup truck. He could just set it over in the back of it if he wanted
That's
to.
right.
Mhm.
Take it with him.
That's well.
You could charge for it. He
No.
can stop by the road there.
Yeah, but he
someplace.
better-
Probably. And
If
charge
he
for it.
driving, you better make sure it's tied down
It
good.
better be
Hey,
tied down good. Oh.
Do I see a little dead spot where that truck's leaking oil under it over there as I blow that picture up? Talking about it being the ecologist.
That ain't up. That ain't up under that truck. That's up under that outhouse.
Yeah, they
Oh,
got
Yeah.
okay.
It's leaking.
Yeah. If Marvin's been out there,
Mhm.
that dead spot's gonna keep growing.
Uh-huh. Yes, it ain't percolating, Charlie. Outhouse ain't percolating. It ain't perking.
Got a perk.
You got to
Yeah.
perk.
I tell you what, Tuesday morning about Troy, he'd paid $1,000 for that outhouse right there.
Cash money.
Uh-huh.
That
Yeah,
story
what
about the elevator over there in Georgia is still about the best I ever heard.
That's a true story. That's a true story. It sure is.
Folks still ask me about my buddy from Camillo that went on a date with Miss Thomasville. Asked me if that's true. That's 100% true.
Can't make it up.
What did the people think we just lie? You think
They
that's what it is?
said, well, you make it. I said, man, you can't make this up. Charlie
No,
Platt,
you can't
he got to say it. You can't make it up. You can't make that. Who can
No.
sit around and make that up?
No, you can't.
You can't do it.
No way.
That's life experiences right there, boys.
They
We
ought to
got
just go. They ought to just make a road trip with us one time, and then they would understand. They would understand what we're talking about. Cause wherever we go, we're gonna have a good time.
Hey, let me tell y'all a little old story about Hooney Calhoun one time. We made us a road trip. I had a Dodge Charger. I had a 69 Dodge Charger. It had leather seats in it, and it had buttons on the seats, you know how they do little buttons here. It had a button there and a button there, and all in the back had. It was kind of like tuft, I think is what it was, tuft. Anyway, we decided we were going to try out and go to Daytona 500. We figured this out. I don't know if it was Friday night or Saturday night that we figured out we were going to go. But anyway, we tore out. We left Concord, I don't know, about 11 o'clock. We had decided we were going to go to the Daytona 500. And I had that Charger, had that Dodge Charger. And Calvin said, I drive. He sat up there smoking one cigarette right behind him, But we had to go. First thing we did, we had to go through Perry, Florida. Any of y'all, we went down like 27. That's before I-10, before they had I-10, before they had I-75. We went down through Perry, Florida. Anybody out there in the listening audience ever been to Perry, Florida? What's down there. That's when they were turpentining down in there. Anyway, we went to Perry, Florida, and we got hungry. It took us about 2.5 hours to get to Perry. But we decided we were going to get us something to eat. And we pulled in there to Calhoun driving. So we pulled in there to it was a bus stop cafe. It was a bus stop and a cafe. And so we sitting in there, and Frog was with us, Frog and Pearlie and Calhoun and me. So we pulled in there to go get us something to eat, and there was some old boys in there yeah-yaing with one another. It done got past happy hour, I'm talking about. They was in there yeah. One of them was yeah-yaing, and the other one, and they was a Greyhound bus parked out front. And man, one of them got up, man, he snatched one of them up by the nape of the neck. He said, I tell you what, you son of a cinnamon roll. He said, you better be on that bus when it pulls out of here. You just better be on. And man, that old boy, he shook him by the neck like that. He shook him a time or two. We just sitting there. We ain't gonna get involved in no out of town dispute with nobody. We just sitting there. He turned him loose, and when he turned him loose, by the time he turned him loose, the Greyhound bus was pulling out of the parking lot. And I scanned run up back. He run that Greyhound bus down and he started beating on the door. He stopped the Greyhound bus. The man opened the door. He got on the bus. I have no idea where he went, but he took a trip. So anyway, we going on to Daytona, and Calhoun's driving. And Calhoun, he gets nudging around like that. He gets to nudging around. He gets to squirming, you know. He gets squirming. I said, hey, Calhoun, what's wrong? He said, dang, this dang button said it's right in my butt. So this button said it's rubbing me raw. He said, I'm getting a rub raw sitting on this button. So he's trying to sit sideways a while, you know, and that wasn't going to work. And he get to moving back around. He sat on that button. He said, man, I got to have some baby powder. I got to have some talcum powder. I said, where you go get talcum powder, man? I said, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, where you go get talcum powder at? Dang, man, ain't this thing. It's this button. He rode the button. He said, this button eating me up. He said, I can't even hardly drive. I said, well, hell, let me drive. He said, no. He said, that seat over there. He said, it's just like this. And he said, I can't do nothing. But anyway, we was going along and we passed an old beer joint pool room thing. And Calhoun, he said, Calhoun be thinking now. He be thinking, he got to have some relief. He spun that John Charters. Where you going? He said, I'm going to go back in this pool room and I'm going to give me some powder. Y'all know how it is when these pool rooms, they have all this old talcum powder. It was like, we had no idea where we was at. Had no idea. We didn't know if it was what kind of pool room, what it was. We didn't know what kind of deal it was. But Calhoun knew. He's kind of like Marlon. He had to have some relief, man. He come in there and he come back out. He had powder all over. It was all over, all in his britches. He had a double handful. He done dusted himself out good with that talcum powder from the pool room. Man, we got back in that old Charger. We headed on to Daytona. Calhoun got healed with that powder from the pool. See, that's why a country boy can survive. That's the moral of this story. A country boy can make it now. He can figure out a way to solve the problem. A lot of folks don't understand that. See, Yankees and liberals, they don't understand how that concept.
No.
They figure it out.
No,
they wouldn't even said. They just sat there and they butt would have rubbed raw. And it rubbed raw. It would have paralyzed them before they would have told anybody that their butt was rubbed raw.
I got a question. Are you sure it was the button in the seat or the rich Corinthian leather of the 1969?
That rich Corinthian leather. But it was burning him. He was on fire, man. But he got cured. He cured himself. But he did. He had powder all over him. It was everywhere. You could smell him. He smelled like a fresh baby. He went on down there and got back home mercifully somehow.
You know, back then we had to do what we had to do to survive. I remember one time we went to Panama City. And he had a drive with me and Raymond Hope Jr. and Bobby Richardson Jr. We had a driver's license between us. And we went down and I had an old Chevrolet Love pickup. What he got run into the back of it, bought it from Dutch Swearing Game. The back of it got run into by a semi truck. He set up cattywampus like that to the cab. Yes. And it was all crunched up. Had the fuel thing. We had it haywired up and duct taped up so we could get gas in it. Got down there and the water hose busted. In Panama City, and we had to get back home. So we couldn't find one though where we finally went to this place. And they said, well, we can call and get somebody to open up, but they're going to charge you with a fee to come and then don't know if they're going to have the hose and ain't going to tell how much. We had no money when we left. So we went to the 7-Eleven store and bought a 59-cent roll of electric tape, taped up that water hose, got some water and put in there, left the radiator cap loose and come back to Colquitt, Georgia, just like we had no problem. Now, do you think one of them young folks could do that today?
Somebody graduated from Yale ain't got no idea how to handle that.
We couldn't get the police to help us because none of us was old enough to have no driver's license.
That's right.
And we wasn't supposed to be in Panama City to start with. But somehow or another, we took a wrong turn somehow, wound up down there. It was an honest mistake.
I'm sure it was. By the way,
all right, boys. Go ahead, Charlie.
Any liberals watching or Yankees that don't know what cattywampus means, that word and others are going to be included in a 1995 dictionary that's going to be available for you online shortly. Go ahead, Marvin.
Yeah, well, Anti-Goggling and Wonky Jawed will be in there too, right, Florida?
That's right.
Just
That's exactly right.
two of many. That's right.
Yes. I want to. Our producer's gonna put a picture up. We just had someone from the our audience text me this picture. This is a outhouse. I'm talking about that. Now that would be a Cadillac outhouse, and this outhouse is located and in operation in Cheevertown, Georgia.
All right.
And they got wheels on it.
No, it's a permanent. It's a permanent. But it is I'm talking. That's a nice outhouse. Floyd, have you ever used that one
I
before?
ain't never used it, but I drunk water from that well.
Yep. I'm glad to know that our friends in Cheevertown have that, because I'm readily travel that road, so I know now. I have it mapped out on my GPS where to go if I get in a tight.
Yep.
That little bitty strip of dead spot they got around the building. If Marvin stops there, you can look for that to grow.
That's right.
Yeah,
The dead spot.
that's right. That's right.
All right, Charlie.
Laura Bright says farming feeds. It does. And we are kind of in the middle. Don Clement's watching. You say it's time to wrap it up? Is that what you're saying?
We getting close. We got a few
Okay.
minutes, but we getting close.
Farm and feeds, that reminds me we are in the getting started. We're not in the middle yet, but we're getting started in the harvest season. The little rain the last couple of days has kind of slowed it down on the peanuts, but folks, be careful as you run up and down the highways. We need to all pitch in a few dollars and spend some money up there around Atlanta on them idiots up there that come running through here wide open, and let them know that these pieces of farm machinery won't run about 25 miles an hour. Everybody needs to be careful.
Put the police out there. They'll slow down.
Well, yeah, but they can't be everywhere. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. But y'all be careful around those, and we appreciate the farmers and what they're doing. And it's that time of the year. Everybody needs to be careful. Still be careful with the COVID because it is there. Folks are still being affected by that. However, some folks are not. So it is what it is. And as we say, you can't make all this up. It's really happening. Crazy world we're living in. And it ain't going to get a whole lot better, I don't think. So just hold on. November is coming up, election time. I agree with Marvin. Get out there and make sure you're registered to vote for the candidates of your choice. The Republicans will be voting on November 3rd, Democrats on December 3rd. Now keep that in mind. That's about all I have. Is anything wrong with that?
No, you're right.
No, that's right.
It is.
All right, me.
Isn't that right, Floyd?
That's right, baby.
Okay.
I just I was sitting here thinking about what Charlie talking about being cautious and watching out for farmers. I tell you what, my father-in-law, Dick Butkus, was he always, every time we left to go out courting, me and Nadine, or after we got married or whatever, every time anybody left his house, he said these two words, and I've used these two words a lot. I didn't invent them. He did. Dick Butkus did. He said these words to whoever was leaving his house. If they was his kinfolks, if they was people that he loved, he would tell them these two words, and y'all know what they are: be particular. And that has a broad meaning on it. Now, be particular. That don't mean just be particular going out the door so you don't fall down. It means be particular in everything you do, in all of your relationships with people. Be particular in everything that you do. If you're working in your yard, you be particular. Whatever you do, if you're around somebody, you be particular. Whatever you say, you be particular. Whatever you eat, you be particular. So that's my word for y'all tonight. I'm going to leave those wise words from Dick Butkus with y'all. Be particular.
Hey, I'm glad everybody tuned in and watched tonight so we could have a good time, just kind of talk a little bit, share a few stories. Don't got a lot to say. I don't have a quote to leave you with tonight, but what I got is today's life statement. I have a life statement for the people who don't see life the way that we see life. I guess I got a life statement for the people on the other side. And here is what they go by in today's time. If at first you don't succeed, blame somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not true now? Ain't
true.
have you seen anything that was their fault?
Never, ain't nothing they fault. Nope, not one thing.
It's everybody else's fault. So,
right. And they'll be glad to take credit for something somebody else did. They had no problem with that.
That's it. All right, Marvin, close us out.
I got you. Well, we're glad y'all joined us tonight. Judson, put that slide up one more time for us. Wanted to remind you that we have a new advertising campaign going on. Write that number down. That's my cell number. You can text me. You can call me or let me know. If you're interested in that, we'd love to have you be a partner with us. I can tell you more about it over the phone, but we did want to give you that opportunity. And everything we do will be first class for you. Again, want to remind you two things. Census and register to vote. And also, if you have any community events going on in your area, they have to be very brief, but we'll be glad to announce them on our show to let people know about them. You can send them to me, text them to me, send them to us on our Facebook page. We'll be glad to share them with our people that are watching our show. I did get a text just a minute ago, Floyd, that outhouse in Cheevertown has a cement floor and an oak seat on it.
Come on.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yes. Man, that's nice.
How about an air conditioning?
No air conditioning. No air conditioning. But
you need to get in. You need to get in and get out. That's the reason. No air conditioning.
Yeah, but he can't do that.
Yeah, he can. He can get in and get out. He may have had to make 2 trips, but he can get in and get out.
Let me say hello to Mr. Bill Donaldson watching us tonight. And Ron McGee from Dakota Coffee says, a pound of Charlie's Open Heart, which is that, you remember the morning we came up with that, Floyd? I told him I had some strawberries there, and I said, what you need to do? He said, what you gonna do with strawberries? I'm gonna dip them in chocolate when I get home tonight.
Come on. Ooh.
And I said, what you need is to flavor up a coffee that was like the strawberries and the chocolate together. So he did, and he named it Charlie's Open Heart, and says a pound of it just left for Japan yesterday.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. The next pound's going to be going to Enterprise Road.
Oh, yeah. I'll be getting me some of that. Yeah. Guys, we do want to thank y'all for watching us. I know that, we just love to have a good time, and we put this show together to try to be a little different during this COVID time and to bring us together and where we can just, be lighthearted. And I felt some encouragement today. I don't know how many of you saw it, but Franklin Graham held a huge prayer rally in Washington, D.C. today. The mall was covered with God-fearing people that came to pray for this country. And if I can ask you to do anything, it is to pray for our country right now. I want to encourage you, if you're where you can go to church tomorrow, be there. Or if you can't, there's plenty of churches broadcasting online, and you pull that up and you watch church tomorrow. But pray for our country. I'm going to leave you with this scripture for the day. If anyone is ashamed of me and my words, the Son of Man will be ashamed of him when he comes in his glory and in the glory of the Father and of the holy angels. We must never be ashamed of Jesus Christ and the message of the gospel that Jesus saves. We love y'all. Hope you have a great week. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you again next Saturday night. Good night.
Good night, y'all. See you.